Yes. Make it good. Don't get cute.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Simpson Virgins.
God damn it.
TTIF, blah, blah, blah. Welcome back to Krown's Magical Doom Cave.
Well. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It's a lovely Friday over here in Helsinki, Finland. It's nice and bright and sunny, but cold as fuck. 8 degrees Celsius for the Americans out there. I don't know what that translates to, but it means that my face is absolutely frigid the second that I step outside. With that in mind, I would like to wish you a happy and healthy start to this nice Friday, and it is the end of the week, which means absolutely nothing because Bitcoin's about to trade over the weekend, and that is the best time for a little bit of fuckery, if you will. So today's a very, very big day, as the title does imply. It's actually not a clickbait title today. This is actually pretty damn important. Next 24 hours coming up, especially for the boo laws right here. This is the fun times, and holy fucking moly, man, I see that we actually almost have 100 likes before the videos really even started here. That's awesome. Holy shit. Massive thank you for that. Don't forget to like and herp your derp and subscribe and do all that good stuff, whatever the fuck people say nowadays. Whatever it is, look, if you want to fucking like the video, like the video. It's all good, man. I'm not going to be mad if you don't like it or subscribe. We're going to be doing this anyways. It doesn't even matter. Anyways, with that said, we got plenty to discuss today. Plenty to discuss on all time frames. Okay, I turned off the alerts right there. We're good. But let's start it off on the Krown Chain application over here, which we found at app.krownchain.net. And then I actually want to share a pretty damn powerful piece of news that I do think is worth knowing, actually. Anyways, what do we have going on right here? We actually have more or less all of the same metrics that we have seen over the past 2 to 3 days now. So not too much to update right here. Bitcoin dominance still just above 41%. Fear and Green Index more or less neutral. Yesterday it was about 49, now 53. I consider that neutral. Anywhere between 40 and 60 is kind of inconsequential. But as far as the top 10 best coins go, we do see some shit coins leading the list right there. Not good. Shiba Inu up 38%. What the fuck is that thing? I don't know. It sounds like another doggy coin derivative or whatever the hell. And you know that is probably good, right? Meme tokens are the way to riches. Very, very quick as well. Very nice. Quick and easy is what everyone wants, right? Anyways, Audius, Cosmos, Avalanche once again on the winners list as well. Wow, jeez, man, that's a powerful one. Algorand, Elrond of the Elves, Bitcoin SV, oh dear lord, Dogecoin, Decred, and Tron. We got some 2017 shitcoins on the list. That might not be the best sign right now. Into the mark data tab we go. Let's see if we got anything new going on over here. Actually, I already kind of perused this one earlier this morning, and not really, in fact. I do want to highlight the global leverage ratio is creeping up again to the same levels that we did see on the September 7th dump, on the April 17th dump, and of course on the November of last year dump as well. All of those 20% or more moves, of which I would, want to be aware of. Now, with that said, it does not imply that it will always be a downside move. Obviously, it's going to be a function of which side which side is more overloaded. Are we more short? Are we more long, essentially? And that is where the liquidity will be found. So with that in mind, the global funding rate was actually negative the other day. Which does suggest that shorts were paying to hold their positions, in this case underwater, and right now it's pretty much it's actually right under parity. So we don't really have any like obvious things to be aware of right there that would like really goose my sort of or at least the fundamentals of the underlying market dynamic more or less on one side. If anything, it'd be a little bit more on the Bula side, but I don't put too much weight on that. It's not conclusive is what I'm trying to say. What is very interesting right here is the exchange Bitcoin reserve is just going absolutely fucking berserk to the downside right there, which again, coins coming off exchanges, well, that does imply that there is more hodling going on. And as I did look at earlier today as well, it looks like Ethereum actually had some pretty massive outflows as well, which is incredibly interesting here. Anyways, I want to share this piece of news, or it's not necessarily news, but it's something that I've been speaking about for a while now. So coming into this year of 2021, I did say that a Bitcoin ETF was probably pretty damn likely, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Shubo for pointing this out in the Discord as well. And I'll just bring you over here to the tweet. This is from, oh god damn it, where is it? There it is. Eric Bakunas. He's a Bloomberg analyst. And basically they're kind of postulating that Bitcoin ETF very, very likely to be approved probably late October. And I've been saying this for a while. Anytime in Q4 of this year is very, very likely. And that would be very 2017-esque if you were around during that time about 3-4 years ago, right? Where Bitcoin essentially was going on this parabolic blow off top and then went into a bit of a consolidation at the end of summer. And then Bitcoin ETF, or sorry, not Bitcoin ETF, but Bitcoin futures on CME was announced. And then off to the fucking moon once again. So if we do see something like that, well, you probably know what the very likely result is going to be. However, be aware that 2017, that result probably very likely to repeat as well right after that. So it will be a bit of a race to the exit after something like that. And it's so fucking funny to read through the comments on this thread. Like, the amount of bad takes and the amount of uneducated people who have very strong opinions is just mind blowing. I can't fucking get over it. I don't know why I read the comments on this bullshit, but it's like, what the hell, man? Like, what are you thinking over here? People, some people will say they don't want an ETF because it's a futures based ETF, so that means it's not going to help price action. Yeah, okay, just enter into 2017. Do you also understand arbitrage? Do you also understand how markets fucking work to begin with? And then there's also people on the other side as well. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, it is what it is. Just let it be, for the love of God. Anyways, go over here into the price action charts. I think it's time right now, and let's see what we got going on. And this is the biggest thing that I'm looking for within the next actually 24 hours. In fact, not just 24 hours, about 18 hours, 44 minutes, and 19 seconds. And that is going to be the daily total closure, which is not just a daily, it's also a 5-day as well. And guess what? Bitcoin's working on, well, not just to bounce off the yellow 20 exponential average, but also a closure above the red 10 symbol. And most importantly, it will be, if it does close anywhere above 47,500, a bullish engulfing 5-day dildo, which actually do put a lot of weight on the 5-day chart for Bitcoin price action. And if you are super interested in this as well, we actually would have a little bit of phantom div going on over here. This actually be regular phantom bullish divergence, as we've kind of lovingly named it. And even if you do look at this, there actually would be a slight amount of hidden bullish divergence as well between this point and this point. Not very obvious stop and release points, but overall, would kind of fit into the general narrative. If we go down here to a daily, these are obvious, highs, these are obvious local lows. So with that in mind, if you are looking for something like this to play out, I would say very, very likely today. And that also does imply if we do not see continuation based off this, especially by Monday, but I would even say, personally speaking, by end of today, I would start to really lean into the bearish case of this. But to kind of cover up the last 24 hours since we last spoke, Bitcoin did test down almost exactly to our area on CME right here. In fact, let me just put on my drawing tools. Holy fucking moly, man. Actually right there. So nope, we wicked $30 below it, so Krown's wrong. Fucking hang him and murder him, rape him as well. And what the fuck? Maybe not. Maybe don't do the last part, or at least wait until I'm dead for that part, because I don't want to live through that, man. It's not going to be good. But yes, this is your first pullback off the 0.5, comes back down based off the 382 and holds structure. So I still look at this as very likely to be bullishly resolved until that is proven otherwise. So essentially the same sort of analysis on the daily here for CME, especially that we did have yesterday. I do have an validation point, obviously below $47,000 until that's cracked below, especially on like a 4-hour closure. You could probably even use about 47.4, 47.5, whatever the low of today was. Probably going to be good enough as well if you do want to be a little bit more aggressive. Of course, it's not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but as long as that, as long as that's held, this is looking, well, from at least from my perspective, very, very good right here. What do we see? We do see hidden bullish evidence on daily RSI. Obviously, that was multiple drives on spot price action over here, and we do see RSIs back above the exponential on this after rejection of the bearish control zone, or what would be considered a rejection of the bearish control zone. By the way, we also do have, no, we do not have, actually, we do not have a cyan read on the daily Jewel 4 CME just yet. It is present, of course, on spot price action, but that was headed off a couple days ago, actually on the 15th of September. So a little bit less exciting on that one. But more importantly, I do expect that CME with its curvature right here probably does follow through. Maybe not today, but probably Monday, assuming that Bitcoin does not break back down below, let's call it $47,000. And remember, this whole consolidation, this whole move from about 53 all the way down to a base of about $45,000 has been coming on declining volatility. So I do still look at this as very likely leading towards more of the same. And in this case right here, while we did get a lower low on CME, we did not get a lower high yet. If you do want to be bearish, there is still very good reasons to be bearish, but more importantly with this, that just means that it's, a bit in limbo. It's not a confirmed reversal just yet until we get a lower high. How would you get a lower high? Well, let's just fucking do it right here. This would be pretty damn obvious. Look, if Bitcoin comes back down below $47,000, that is your lower high. You can get ready for another move, very, very likely back down to about $45,000, very likely to bounce there, and then failure, maybe over the next couple of weeks to lower price action. Now, I'm not of that opinion. I am, to put it very bluntly, bullish here, dare I say, but at the end of the day, my opinion is fucking irrelevant. It's all about the setups. It's all about the invalidation points. It's all about the entries, and of course the profit taking as well. And if you don't have those three things in, you should not be trading, just as an aside, because it's at least in my experience, not going to work out all too well. That's not being a trader, that's being a gambler. And well, you might get lucky from here and there, especially in a bull market. It's rather generous, we might say, but still, over time, it's probably not going to work out. Again, I just I only have bad experiences with that in my past. Anyways, also on the 4-hour CME, we do see that the Silver Cross has been officially confirmed, and we do have a beautiful test into it. This would be a really good example of what a good one should look like. So what we'd be expecting next to see is obviously continuation. Again, I would actually say within the next 24 hours, it would be a little bit, it would be very concerning if it does not happen by Monday, and it would be a little bit strange if we do see it over the weekend, but wouldn't be the worst thing of all time. Anyways, as far as momentum oscillators go over here, so a couple very interesting things. We did see that daily Stokes do follow through as well. This one coming on increasing volatility. It's not necessarily above the 50 percentile, which is where I really want to see it, but overall good, and will suggest that daily momentum oscillators do remain to the upside as long as above 45,750 or so. And by the way, the 2-day, which is also closing tonight as well, in 18 hours, 39 minutes, and 23 seconds, we actually will see this pop back up and reject, actually going into the bearish control zone right here. If we do close today above 48,850 or so. So if we go back down over here into the short-term time frame structure, let's actually go to spot price action. It's a little bit more, well, it's a little bit more obvious, I suppose. We do see pretty much the same levels as yesterday, right? I actually didn't mark off the top side of it yesterday. It's just right here though, at 48,350 or so. So if Bitcoin does start to take out that area to the upside, then I would be looking for the next technical target to be met somewhere around the 618 Fibonacci retracement right here, which is about 49,500. Obviously, if that is met by daily closure and daily close above there, that will then fulfill the 2-day the 2-day metrics that we just spoke about as well. And then of course the 5-day will be just a massive bullish engulfing dildo at that point. And yes, I would be looking for a drive into the low 50s probably next week. If that were to happen, that would look very, 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 very good right here. And for what it's worth, this is a nice healthy consolidation. If you're looking at this from a Wyckoff perspective, this would be an example of a very short-term time frame. This is, again, we're on a 2-hour right here, but this would be an example of accumulation, obviously, and this would be your reaccumulation right here. And if that is true, then we would expect some sort of a falling channel, which it kind of works out as that right now. Not my favorite pattern of all time, especially in cryptocurrency land. I do like these in traditional land, but not necessarily cryptocurrency land. But we do we do have it in right now, and it is worth talking about, I suppose. And again, the way to invalidate it anyways is about the same thing as what we just spoke about on CME. Below 47,000 bucks, you don't have your fucking bullish falling channel anymore now, do you? But more importantly with this, we can make a bit of a measure move, which I will do right now. You could also look at this as a bit of a bull flag. I don't trust those as much, but guess where that'd be pointed towards? That'd be pointed towards right around 49,000 bucks. At that point, I don't think that too much would stop you there, except for maybe like a very short-term hourly pullback. But overall, again, that is essentially what I'm looking at right now. Momentum oscillators, for what it's worth, on our lower term time frame, are also suggesting hidden bullish divergence, or not suggesting, but also confirmed. And again, a pretty damn strong structure right there. And we also do see, well, I do not like the jewel on the 2-hour time frame, by the way. I only like 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily, just for what it's worth. You're going to be using it in that fashion. And volatility set to expand right now, as well as this consolidation does mature. So I think that we are looking at resolution very likely today. Yesterday was a bit of a consolidation day, as we did say was likely, and so far the lows have held. So I really don't have any, majorly new things to be talking about right there. Anyways, with that said, hourly BBWP already starting to expand a little bit. Want to see that get above 50 percentile, but we do see the moving average now having a positive slope, and momentum oscillators again over here are rejection of the bearish control zone, not really giving us too much, other things to look at. But overall, I do see still more things on the Bula side than the Bear side right here. 12-hour just kind of following through. Don't really see anything too obvious right there. And then of course, daily, we've already spoken about that. So I actually do want to go back on over here, and then I'll talk about one new thing as well. Let's go down to the short-term time frame momentum oscillators, see what the 4-hour is. Oh, what do you know? 48,250. So that would be around the topside resolution point on even like a 2-hour closure above about 48.3. So a lot of things coming in there. If we do go down to an hourly, 47.5 is the magical number, and 2-hour is going to be 47,300. I'm just curious what the 3 hours looking like as well. 47,950 or so. So yes, we do see them all kind of built up around there. You can kind of see the bleeding or cascade of effects if Bitcoin does start to clear above, let's just call it 48,250 or 48,300. agreed. You know, they're pretty much the same thing as far as I'm concerned. By the way, just my experimental indicator over here it did lose its complete downside curvature. So it doesn't necessarily imply that it's going to be a long signal, yes, but the downside it would suggest is over, at least for now. Again, that is a very experimental indicator right now. I still have a lot of testing to go on that one. Anyways, I want to talk about some that I don't typically mention. This was a big one for me in traditional markets, but another big thing as well, and something that would make me feel a lot more confident or just kind of build into the general analysis, I guess, of what I've been stating right here, which is the ADR. And we have something very, very interesting going on right here, actually. And it would make me essentially fit into the analysis that if Bitcoin does start to clear above, especially, you know, that 48,250 or 48,300 level today, especially, then I would feel quite comfortable saying that Bitcoin's just going to see a general float up. Yes, there's going to be pullbacks along the way, fucking obviously, but wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin, you know, in the upper, I suppose, $50,000 territory. You know, maybe within the next couple of weeks if that were to occur. Anyways, what am I talking about? What am I going on a fucking tirade about right here? It's actually the ADR, and we are at a very pivotal moment right now. So when you're in a downtrending move, Bitcoin does seem to put in its highs around the 2 spot right here on the ADR. And again, if you're not familiar with this indicator, it's just an advanced decline ratio. That's all it is. It's very, very simple, but very, very powerful at the same time as well. So when Bitcoin is in a downtrend or when it's essentially, you know, reversing and generally going down, we do see that a lot of the highs are put in around this region. So when did that start to happen? Obviously in middle of April right here. You can see I've actually marked off this area. So we can match up all of these pretty much with the highs. This one right here, boom. This one right here, obviously, boom. This one right here on this high, boom. Same thing right there, boom, and then more recently on the high right here, actually. So if Bitcoin does obviously bust through today and do a little bit of busting action to the upside, then we will see this very likely, you know, take out that level, and then I'd probably be looking for one of those actual very interesting moves, you might say, over the next probably week and a half, if I had to guess. Also PMAR looking very, very interesting right there. So I'll just kind of leave that there, and fair enough. Perhaps we might see some bust. There could be, today could be a bust today. We never know though. That's why we played the fucking game. But anyways, with that said, I think it is time to maybe get into the chats, or maybe is it time to do something else? Let me go check out Bitcoin dominance really quick. I am curious to see where that one is right now. I believe we said a little bit of a bouncy bounce was likely, and we are getting that right now. But again, while I do think that this bounce probably does carry on, it could even come all the way back up to like 43 and a half percent. That is long term. I am looking for this to continue on to the downside. Downside meaning somewhere down around like, you know, mid 30s or so over time, like over the next couple months. This is very obviously, well, a downtrend, as you can see. And if you are looking at this from a chart formation, this would be an inverted cup and handle for what it's worth. Not that I think that these are going to work out, you know, on a chart like this, but it is, you know, it would kind of be playing in that narrative anyways. This fucking downtrend is what it is. It's the downtrend plus redistribution, and then continuation is what those essentially mark off. Okay, cool. So with all that said, is there anything that I missed over here? Probably yes, but again, you know, the big eyes for myself. If you want to use a 4 hour, probably 47.4, I suppose that is kind of our last closing lows right there, or just a spike lower than yesterday's low, I guess, which is $47,000. Obviously, I like to operate off closures. That gives me, those are typically a lot more statistically relevant. But if you do want to use wicks in this case, probably wouldn't be the worst idea if you do want to be a little bit more aggressive as well. And of course, it's not financial advice. So with all of that said, I think it is time for me to turn on the alerts over here, and we can get into the comment section. Let's see what else we got over here. Oh, by the way, now that I see James Nalon's comment right there, when moon. Okay, so you want a little bit of hopium as well. Yeah, we can do some hopium right now. A little bit of fun stuff, I guess, but I think it's on this chart right here. And yes, we do have a Bula moon coming in on in a few days, actually. I think Shubo let me know that as well. Man, that guy's fucking on it. I like that guy a lot. Anyways, let me turn this off right there. Let me turn this on right here. Yeah, it does look like it's coming in relatively soon. I do believe it's early next week, actually. So let me just double check. When's the 20th? Yeah, it's Monday. So, hey, if Bitcoin can survive the weekend, then, well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin back around the upper $50,000 territory within the next few weeks, probably early October, if I had to guess. Anyways, okay, cool. Yes, the hopium has been injected into your veins. Please understand that it is hopium, or at least, I mean, is it hopium or is it not hopium? I mean, this. I have to ask myself, did I trade better than this in the past year? I did trade this pretty damn well, but I did not trade it as well as the moons. No, this is like almost almost perfect, like the whole way around. There's only one iteration right here where I'd say did not work out all that well. That would be this one right here. Although it did produce about a $6,000 move. So maybe I stand corrected on that one. Sorry, this would be the one right here. Yeah, and this one barely didn't even break structure, just kind of came back down and consolidated. So with that said, again, understand what that is, but you know, interesting and fun stuff nonetheless. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's get into the chatties over here. Let me just pull it up all the way to the tippy top. Oh shit, I forgot to make an announcement as well. So there's apparently been some very crafty individual on Instagram who's been making like fake profiles of myself, both with the Krown Crypto Instagram profile and also my personal profile as well. Please understand, look, I'm never gonna message you. I'm never gonna DM you asking you for money or telling you about my secret signals group. I don't have a fucking signals group. I'm also told, by the way, that there's some sort of Krown signals group on Telegram. That is not me, just so you know. I have no interest in that. I've absolutely zero interest in trading your accounts, not because I'm trying to be a fucking dickhead to you. It's just I'm completely fine trading my own accounts. I like that. I'd rather do that. You know, that's a lot more comfortable. So please, I hope that it'd be glaringly obvious that these are like obvious fucking scammers and obviously not me. But you know, if you're in the crypto landscape, there's one really good mindset to kind of go into all conversations with. It's probably a scam. It's probably a scam until proven otherwise. So fair enough. And maybe I should show my testnet account over here. Again, it doesn't say testnet account anymore. Oh no, it does right there. Okay, good. All right. So yes, this is a testnet account. All right, SEC, don't fucking come after me right now. But yeah, still holding the same positions basically. And basically just letting all of the September 24th next week premium just kind of come in right now. So printing about 2.7 Bitcoin profit on that. And that will be going up actually into next week, which I'm rather happy about. The question is, do I want to hold these 36,000 strike long calls into that expiration or not? Because those are pretty much all premium now. And well, I mean, I don't mind having those long deltas, of which I think I'm like still 20 deltas long, and it counts back up to about 27.5 Bitcoin right there. So looking good, looking very good, and still holding, of course, the $33,000 long way back on over here. So I'll be nice and happy with that. Anyways, I'm gonna turn back on my camera. There's my stupid face. Fuck, I forgot to turn on my goddamn lights, motherfucker. Done goofed it up today. Jesus Christ. And let's get on over here. Should I turn on the lights? Maybe it's time to turn on the lights. All right, I'm going to turn on the lights just 1 second. It might just give me a little bit more energy because I didn't get enough sleep last night. And there we go. Let there be light, sirs and sirs. Hey, what's up, King Cosmic? All right, yeah, I know exactly what you want to be looking at. I actually looked at this one earlier today. NASDAQ looks a lot more interesting to me. We do have some local lows in there, but I was wrong about yesterday, or I was kind of wrong about yesterday because I was looking for a rally up yesterday, or at least a local low to be printed yesterday. We did get a local low printed yesterday, but we did come back down to the prior low before that happened. I would still be looking for the same move, basically back around somewhere around 4,500 or so. And big eyes on the weekly closure today, obviously, because this is still a little bit in limbo. I don't really have any major things to say about the long term just yet. I do start to look at this as like more and more concerning, and I do think that probably correction is coming in maybe like late October or November. But for right now, still holds the higher low structure. And yes, I would be looking for next move to the upside, short term 44.77 or 44.80 or so, break above there, and then I'd be looking for that move to 45, and then I want to see the weekly closure coming into next week before saying anything else. What's up, Scott Barney? I met Ilya Gross on the Koala Agency NFT. Yeah, man, he's great. He's fucking great, man. I will show your channel now on Koala's Discord to bring both communities together. Man, he's a really great guy, and he's actually been in this community for a very long time. So, I only have good things to say about him. He's the man. He's the one who got me hooked up with the old koalas there. What's up, Lucas DeGrasse? Herpaderp. Sir, am getting wrecked. Send hopium all the way. All right, let's check it out. See what H-bar. You all right over there, sir? You all right? All right, let's see what we got going on right here. Ooh, H-bar, not giving it up a little bit. Yeah, looks like we're in for a bit of a correction right here. All right, do I want to record this one? Sure, why not? Here we have H-bar, Herderpa hash graph versus the dollar. We'll do general overview of this one. So this one's been pretty damn good. The last few weeks here. However, I do believe it is time for a bit of a sideways consolidation. Again, I'm not calling like a major reversal on this, but I do think that it does probably come, trade sideways and down from here, and sets in another higher low on the daily, probably somewhere around 40 cents if I had to guess. Anyways, with that said, looks like we brushed up off of the 2.272 target right there. So fair enough. This one did have a pretty phenomenal run, but looking at it right here, there's going to be an ebb and flow on it, obviously. I don't think you're going to like straight shoot down or straight shoot up. It's and realistically, sideways is very constructive right here. So what I'd be looking for is essentially a range between about 40 to 41 cent, all the way up to about 51 cent. Probably test both sides several times, over the next week or two, and then very likely another resolution, I'd imagine, to the upside. This one's still, well, how are we looking on the weekly? No, I still like the weekly right here. How are we looking on the 5-day? 5 days closing today, and that looks okay, I suppose. But yeah, I do think that this one does trade sideways and down from here. I don't think it's ready just yet. Let's go check out momentum also and see if they can help guide any sort of perspectives on this as well. And what do we see on the 4-hour? Down as long as below 5170. So that looks like we probably do trade a little bit more down from here as well. Daily will be down as long as below 55.5. Yeah, I think at best this one goes sideways for a little bit of time, but sideways again is good for the boo laws. I do expect that this one very likely will test down to about 40 cents or so. So hopefully that was helpful. But, a very impressive run. And what do we see over here, by the way? Calling the tops with BBWP, getting into that 95 percentile right there. And that is pretty much it. Also, 4-hour Joule sell signal, like actually a really perfect one right here. This is like literally as perfect as it gets, in fact. You don't get those too often, but when you do, we're looking pretty damn good on the 4-hour. So yeah, again, probably down to about 40 cents or so. I'll be looking for a bounce there and, trade sideways for a while. Sideways being good, however, for the long term. Hopefully that was helpful. And there you go. Nice one, man. Let's see. Tompo says CGG. Okay, CGG, not one that I'm familiar with. It's a fucking crypto, of course. Chain Guardians. 4 hours actually good. 4 hours actually good. This is obvious reaccumulation, and it looks like we do have a long-term uptrend, or at least for the long term that we have on something like this. I'd be looking for a short-term move to about 132, 132.5 or so. Closing above there on like a 4-hour. Let's see. On a 4-hour, I'd actually want to see a closure above about 140, and then I'd extend target significantly back around just under $2 or so. But it does look fine right here. Obviously, invalidation is going to be below about 98 cents, but this one, at least for the history that we do have, it's okay. To be fair, though, it's not much history, so don't know how much I trust it. Obviously, below about 48, or sorry, what was it? 90? What was it, like 98 cents, 96 cents? I think it's more like 96 cents, actually. That looked pretty damn bad, looking for a reversal back down to like 55 or 60, but I don't necessarily think that's what's happening right there. It's just kind of trading sideways and reaccumulating is what it looks like right now. Probably easy to watch Bitcoin if I had to guess. What's up, Mr. Ciano? TRX? Okay, Tron. All right, we can look at Tron. Usually not a good sign when this highly esteemed piece of technology is rallying, but it is, and it's probably going to rally more from here too. Jesus Christ, this is not good. Yeah, this is very likely to rally up more. I'd be looking for, again, assuming that today closes above basically anywhere here or higher, I'd be looking for this one to reach back up towards your prior highs on this run, like 14, maybe even 15 cents or so. It probably plays out a bit of a short-term pullback from there. Short-term time frames like a 4-hour, just general uptrend, hidden bullish evidence on the last low, invalidation on the 4-hour below about 11.5 cent, we'll say. So this one actually looking pretty good. Again, I don't think that's a good sign for the general market, but it is looking good, to be fair. So, be aware of the invalidation. If it does lose that, I'd be looking for another drive back down to 10 cents or so. But for right now, okay. What's up, Mr. Jack? Ethereum, Bitcoin, short term. Yeah, let's check this one out. It looks like we got the rally. Nice. We got the bounce that we were looking for. Beautiful. Okay. So you said short and medium term. Let's go down to a 4-hour. 4-hour, just kind of chugging its way along. 4 hours, very obviously just ranging right now. If you're looking at very short-term time frames, then you're looking at basically, your last pivot at 7.3.5 million satoshis, just right here. Kind of a bit lower than where it should be, but it's right there. And again, sideways is the name of the game for this one, but overall, again, long-term time frames, very, very good. If you do start to break below 7.3.5 million satoshis, I would look for another drive somewhere down around the current low structure and probably puts in another higher low. Don't necessarily think that that's what's happening right here, to be honest with you, but short-term is down. I do think it's going to officially test this region once again. The question is, what's the response? If it does lose that level, then yeah, extend the targets to the downside, somewhere around 7.2. But again, all higher term time frames I do quite like, so I'll just leave that. I'll just leave that there. I know you did. I know that you didn't ask about them, but we do have a quarterly closure coming up. So if we could, we could look at it right here, and that's. I rest my case. For the long term, I really, really like that. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. And there you go. But yeah, short term is down. Actually, short term is down, or at least that's what I'll be looking for right now. Where'd my pivot be to the upside? Oh, I mean, it's actually rather obvious. 7.55 million satoshis above there. I'd be looking for a retest basically of your highs coming into next week or something. Farhan, what's up, man? Good morning to you as well. XEC. Okay, XEC. This is maybe a new one for me. I can't say that I've seen eCash. Is that like an ecstasy reference? Okay, and we have an award for the shittiest chart of the day. Whoops. Okay, this is something that what the fuck just happened? God damn, what the fuck is this? Hey, what the hell just happened right there? I don't want a phantom wallet. Get the fuck out of my face. Jesus Christ. Why did that even happen? What even did that? Yeah, what the fuck even did? Okay, that's weird. Did I get hacked? Did I get hacked or some shit? Anyways, yeah, piece of shit chart, man. You typically avoid shit like this like the plague. Maybe something fundamentally like terrible went on in this thing, but I don't have an analysis for someone that did this. Whatever it is, it's not good. Whatever it is not good, man. I don't know what this thing is, but not my favorite chart of the day, I'll tell you that. Short term though, I don't have an opinion on something like this, man. It just looks like it does weird shit. So I think it's best that I don't say anything, man. I don't have any opinion on something like this, man, at all. I know that's unhelpful and that's not what you want to hear, but it's just there's no analysis at least that I think that I could be helpful with on something like this. And if anything, it is going through what looks like redistribution, but going to be flip flops around and probably just bounce from its current level in the short term timeframes. What's up, Spencer Smith? Hey man, thank you for awareing me of the Miami coin. That was actually really, really interesting to read through. So they're using it to help with homelessness and everything. At least they're doing something positive with it. Kind of cool. Hey, all good, man. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Sweet. All right. Sounds good, man. J3F says it's only just begun for Ray USD for 4-hour daily. I wish you well as well, sir. Let's see. Radium. So this is another SAM coin, I believe, or related to a SAM coin. And you're looking at a 4-hour and daily right here. 4-hour. 4-hour is interesting. Let's go to a daily first. Okay, really not much history on this one. Maybe a 12-hour is going to be more enlightening. Still no for me. If I did have to call it, I actually do think that it will bounce off its current level, and you would expect it to bounce right here if it is going to be short-term bullish, obviously. And you'd be looking at a move back around like 14.5 to 14.80, just this local high right there. If that does fail to happen, if you do start to close below this last little wick low, like 12 and a quarter, I'd be looking for a move down around your last prior lows from 8th of September, somewhere in like the mid 10s. But I don't have a strong opinion on something like this. It just hasn't really been around for too long. Look, it's been around for like a little bit over a month, man. There's not a daily to really analysize here, unfortunately, or at least I don't think that I could be very useful in that fashion. So again, not very helpful right there. I do apologize, but if I'm just looking at the hourly, though, it does not look good. For what it's worth, I'd probably be looking for a bounce here, though. It is just one of those, or it's probably just a little bit too new and just looks weird for right now. What's up, Ali Almar? Morning to you as well. Pond, okay, look into Pond. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it's a Marlin Pond. What the fuck? All right, this is a new one. This is certainly a new one. Short and long term. Okay, so what does long term mean to you? And there is no long term to do on something that's been around for just under a year. But is it okay right here? Yeah, it is okay, actually. You do see a very sloppy, very, 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 very sloppy version of accumulation going on right here. And the pivot is literally right at 1 cent. So a nice round even number there too. Looking at like a 4-hour, representing what I would say are the lower term timeframes. Looking for this one to trade sideways and up probably back up to like 12.75, maybe even as much as just under 14 cents or so. It does look like it's starting to work its way out of here. 5-day looks good as well. So I do expect that it will work its way back. It just looks weird because it's like a illiquid shit coin, it looks like, but I do expect that it does very likely hold the lows. Now, of course, invalidation going to be below that. Sorry, it was 10 cents, not 1 cent, 10 cent. 10 cent, not 1 cent, would be the invalidation below there. This thing's going to fall back down to its 10th of September lows right here, right around 7 cents, and probably lower than that over time. But I expect that one does pull through. It looks okay for what it's worth. What's up, Legend LEZs? Silver, man, you just love you love these things. You love these things, don't you? All right, SLV, and let's see. Okay, is it testing the bottom of the monthly range and bouncing, or do I need to move in with Scott Barney at his mom's basement? This looks bad. That looks bad. That is a daily. Monthly. Okay, so we're coming into the end of the month here, right? So we do have to be looking at not just the monthly, but also the quarterly, because both these are going to be closing. And I do think that it probably will come a little bit lower before it does bounce, probably like 20 to 20 and a half or so. But again, long term, I don't hate this chart. It's actually decent. This is to be considered a consolidation after essentially breaking the accumulation range, which was back down around 18 and a half bucks. Short term though, we're putting in a bit of a low right here. Very close. I think that it probably does have maybe one more downside move to about 20 and a half, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm bearish on something like this. I also want to check out the 6 month as well. It sounds like you're very long term on this. Six month not great, but still has another 3 months to go. What about the bi-monthly? How do we do there? Same thing, you know, very likely short term a bit more downside, and I'd be looking for a bounce somewhere between about 20 and 20 and a half. Other than that though, man, I hate playing these fucking things, man. Like, you don't have to play these things, you know. You can pick something that's much easier. But for what it's worth, you know, I do think it'll bounce relatively soon. The question is like, if you're gonna move in with Scott's mom, well, first off, does she cook? And second off, like, well, does she clean? Or, like, does she? Scott, please respond. You know, it's like, this one's going to be probably waiting around for a while. I don't think that you're going to see a resolution on it. If it is going to end up bullish, I don't think that you're going to see a resolution on it until like literally 2022. So it's going to be a lot of waiting. So, you know, again, it's your game at the end of the day, but just understand what you're kind of getting yourself into. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. The Naked Truth says, can you look at ORN 4 hour daily? Sure. Okay. Crypto or stock? Let's see. Oh, dare I put in the U? And yes, something pops up, so I'm guessing it's this. Orion. Actually very good on the monthly right here. Very nice, actually. Not much history there, but daily's good as well. Golden cross right here into the consolidation. This is an accumulation phase. Even has an inverted head and shoulders. Boosting above the 200 symbol for the first time in a while. This looks good. This looks good, actually. I'd be looking for this one to continue on into the next couple weeks, somewhere around 14 or 15 bucks. Also has some phantom div going on right here, which actually was already confirmed, so good on that one. Short-term timeframes would obviously have an invalidation below about 10 and a half, and this one actually looks like it wants to trend right now. It's pretty good, pretty damn good, especially for an altcoin right there too. One that I don't think I've ever seen before. Let me take a sippy sip of this water, man. I'm damn thirsty right now. I have to say, for all the people who are just saying like long-term or short-term, it would be much more helpful if you like specified a time frame, because when you just say long or short, I don't know if we have the same sort of definitions for that sort of thing. Just so you know, just so you know, might make it a little bit more applicable to you. James Nayland, we already got that. Nice one. Yeah, indeed. The most relevant question of them all. Disregard all TA, only acquire the moons. The moons indeed. Barton Hutt, what's up, man? Good morning to you as well. No problem, man. No problem at all. Can you take a look at Algo on the 4 hour, please? Sure. We should probably record this one as well. This one. A mover recently. What are we looking at right here? Actually not bad. That's consolidation going on right here. All right. Here we have Algo Rand, simple ALGO, and we're looking at this one versus the dollar. This one consolidated at a very high level, and we do have a 5-day closure coming up today at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is looking pretty damn good for long-term continuation. Now, does long-term continuation mean short-term continuation? Not necessarily. However, if I do go down to a 4 hour, still holds the lows relatively well, and I would have the same invalidation point that I had maybe a couple days ago at about 190 or so. As long as it's above there, I look for this one to trade sideways and up. We do see a very bizarre drive of hidden bullish divergence right there, and would be looking for this one to trade a bit sideways in the short term, and then very likely put in a move towards 2.25 to 230. Below the invalidation, below 190, I'd be looking for a deep retracement down to like 160, 150 or so, but I'm inclined to say that this one trades sideways and up from here. Higher term timeframes kind of reveal this one. This is actually really, really good when you see something like this. When you see someone consolidating and holding the highs for a while after a nice rally, like that's a signal of strength. It's just when we go to the higher term timeframes like this, you can see that BBWP got all the way up to like a 98 percentile. So I'd be looking for this one to trade sideways until that cools off, maybe down to like 50 or 60 percentile, and then perhaps look for another move. Short-term timeframes though, just sideways, and probably plays out the range a little bit more. Range being between about top side of like 240, bottom side 190. So hopefully that was helpful. Maybe we can just quickly look at this over here. I imagine it's gonna hopefully confirm those views. Let's see what the daily looks like. Actually, daily will pop back up with a closure above 229. To be fair, so if you do see that level met, that would obviously be above the top side of the range. Then I'd be looking for a continuation first. full hour 210, and hourly is going to be 201. Actually not too far out of the question. Short term does look good here. Let's maybe come up with some areas of interest if it does break the top side, just because I was actually a little bit more lenient than what I was expecting on something like this. But let's see. Okay, we're at the 414. Yeah, I already have a measure moving here at about 290 or so, almost $3. So I'd be looking somewhere around there if it were to continue trend like sooner rather than later. But if I had to call right now, I think that this one goes sideways for a little bit more time within that range first. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go. Nice one. Cool. Mr. Deaver, what's up, sir? Hey, all good, man. All good, sir. Someone's got to be having fun in this fucking market. Like I can't imagine. One thing that I just do not understand is like, how can people be serious when we're looking at this shit? It's fucking magic internet money is what it is. It's pretty much, most of it's used for very little or very speculative purposes. Like the biggest use case for most things in this market is to trade other cryptos, right? So it's like whenever you get very serious about it, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, you're looking at Bitfarms. Yeah, we can check this one out. This is, I'm going to guess, a Bitcoin miner, right? And still long-term good, but short-term does come down a little bit. I'd actually be looking for a bounce here on the daily. Now, what time frames were you looking at? Daily and weekly. Okay, so daily, let's go back down to it. I'd be looking for a bit of a short-term bounce today. However, this one will come down significantly further if it does fail 5 and a quarter right here. I'd be looking for a move all the way back down to about 4.5 or 430 or so, somewhere down around here. Retest the daily 200s, then that would be a pretty obvious area. Anyways, if we do go to the weekly, and maybe even the monthly is even worth looking at as well. Again, I'd probably be looking for a bounce here first before anything else, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish. Monthly still long-term bullish. That's fine, but the question is, does it continue on from here or not? And I'm inclined to say that after a short-term bounce, it probably does break down to that lower level. Momentum oscillators are more in bearish posturing. We got a pretty damn good jewel sell signal right here. It's played out decently thus far, but I expect that it might have one more leg, and that would be your like 440 or so region. And we do see that volatility starting to increase on what is a downtrend right here on the daily. I mean, we have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, and this is a lower low by definition. So I'm inclined to say down first after like a very short-term bounce. So hopefully that was helpful on that one, sir. What's up, Winning Choice 87? Any chance of looking at Stinky Linky? Yeah, of course. Why not, man? Why not? Just kind of chugging its way sideways here. I don't have any major issues with this one. Pretty much same analysis as like the last 2 days. Invalidations below about what was it, like 28.5 or 29? It'll be the same thing today. I still like this one actually. We do see daily RSI, multiple trades of hidden bullish evidence right there. Daily BBWP is looking to expand above 50 percentile. So in this one never even got a downtrend. This one's already been in an uptrend ever since basically over here. So pretty damn good. And I do expect that, well, let's just go down to the short-term timeframes. I do expect that we have a bit of a range going on in short-term timeframes, which we do. So let's just mark this off. Oh God, I already have everything, all timeframes marked off on something like this. You know what? Above 31.5, I would be looking for a continuation around your prior highs, essentially. And I do think that it very likely will trade sideways and up from here. Again, be aware of the invalidation, but this looks fine to me. 5-day closing today, that's a bullish engulfing as is right now. Anywhere above $30 is going to look really fucking good coming into next week, for probably extension back up to the high 30s, maybe even 40s, maybe over the next couple weeks. But yeah, again, a big closure coming in on this one, end of day here. So keep your eyes on that one. Probably going to play along with Bitcoin as well, if I had to guess. And what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's putting in a little bit of a range right now, short term, making everyone wait around, which is fair enough. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Patience, sirs and zers. Mr. Singh, hello, sir. Can you look at Mara? Okay, yeah, we got another, I think this is a Bitcoin miner as well, Marathon Digital Holdings. Well, let's see, and you're looking at what? 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Hourly, just trading sideways, a little bit of a range between 37 and 35. 4 hour, what are we looking like right here? Same thing, not much difference. Daily, I expect is going to be a lot more interesting. Yeah, okay, daily is a lot more interesting right here. Daily is in a range, long term, yes, but short term, this one's actually looking pretty damn good, and I would be looking for maybe another spike down to about 34.5 or so, maybe even all the way down to 34 even. But this actually does look good to me. 5 days is not closing today. Weekly is going to be closing today. Think that we've already played that out. I'm not bearish on this thing as long as you're above $33. Put it bluntly, I'd be looking for sideways and up from there with maybe another short-term downside test us, somewhere around here. How does the monthly look? Long-term, okay. I'm not really getting too much. I mean, this is pretty exaggerated run right here too. Like, what's the real chart look like? Yeah, not great long-term. Not a humongous fan of this chart long-term, but I'd still give it a chance right here. And quarterly looks like shit. So yeah, not great, but you know, a bit of a range. Probably does test the downside once again before resolution. And I am inclined to say that this one does very likely move back up somewhere around about 43.5, $44, perhaps. Like early October or something like that. But this one's okay. Again, invalidation, very obviously below $34. As long as you hold that, very good. Very good long term is what I'd say. What's up, Stephen Pitcher? Strong side for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Alts bleeding Bitcoin and Ethereum moving higher. Money flowing back into the big boys. Yeah, I would agree with that. Although we don't fully see that. We actually did see several 2017 shitcoins on the winners list this morning. So that does have me a little bit concerned. You know, shit like Shiba, shit like Doggy Coin, shit like Bitcoin SV, Tron, you know, those ones, like, you really want to see Bitcoin and like the main and like the major caps, you know, the strong ones. So that's not just Bitcoin anymore. Like back in 2017, 2018, and prior to that, it was pretty much only Bitcoin, somewhat Ethereum, and even kind of like a little bit Litecoin, which is a little bit weird. But as markets kind of evolved, especially in the last couple of years here, you know, there are several, you know, major market leaders. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, some of the other major platforms like Solana's, and a few of the other, you know, legitimate projects, of which I'm probably missing a bunch of them, but it's definitely evolving and maturing, which is a good sign. Very good sign. AK907. Hi guys, are we long or short? We're short long, sir. It's a fuck or not, baby. It's a fuck. Let's try that next time you go out to a nightclub with a mask on, by the way, with a mask on, and you say, hello, is it fuck or not? Long or short? Take off pants, please. No, please, says Elsa, but I'm a little bit more, I think I'm a little bit more diplomatic about it. It would be good to be diplomatic about it, especially like if the police get involved as well. Matt Rutledge says, Gala, please also note to self, do not rape Krown. Yes, that would be very much appreciated. And now my videos are going to get wrecked again by the YouTube gods. This thing's only been around for like 4 days, sir. You can look at like an hourly, maybe it looks good on the hourly. Probably moves back up to 13 cents or so, but probably even makes new highs as well. But I don't. There's no other analysis to do on something like this, man. Invalidation is going to be below about just about 10 cents or so. This one looks fine though for what it's worth. Hidden bullish evidence right there. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing make a new high. Just way too new, man. 4 days. Like I want to see 10 to 20 years. Is really what I want to see. What's up, Christina P? A-Elf. Yeah, this is, wow, this is one that I haven't seen since 2018, I believe. And thank you for that. That's very kind of you. And holy shit, this one's actually had a pretty nice move here. But what the fuck? This one has surely been around more than just a week. We only have, am I thinking of something else? Maybe. Yeah, okay. Here's what I expect to see. How are we looking like the grand scheme of things? Actually, a lot better than what I would have expected. This one's not just made new highs, made significantly new highs and held the long-term uptrend. Actually, a shitcoin worth paying attention to. Hidden bullish evidence on the last low right there. Any sort of a closure today above 88.5 cents, and I would extend targets for new all-time highs. Somewhere around $1, I'd be looking for maybe a short-term pullback right there, but not a top right there. I'd be looking for probably like a 110 to 115 region before the next sort of potential daily top gets put in. But a very good chart right here. You know, obviously invalidation point below about 70 cents, but good. Very, very good, actually. Increasing volatility alongside trend continuation. Momentum offset is all in the same direction as well. Jewel just got another powerful signal as well there. Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually. Very, very good chart. Actually, one of the better charts we've seen today, in fact. So nice one. Sweet. Edward Preston, Mr. Arco says, thoughts on Cyrus USD? Okay. Another one that I don't think I'm familiar with this one. Always on KuCoin, man. KuCoin's new fucking Binance bullshit. Oh, baby. The regulators are going to love them too. It looks like a sloppy altcoin. Usually if I see a chart like this, I'd say this one's going to very likely break down back down to like 94.5 cents or so. But, you know, I probably wouldn't be looking for that as long as it's closing 4-hour dildos above about 103. As long as that holds, I'd be looking for this one to trade sideways and up and probably tries putting a low right here. Again, be aware of the invalidation point on this one, because if it does, you know, if this one does fail, this one will come down significantly. But it's way too new really to be looking at it, to be quite honest with you. But look at a 4 hour, that's probably the best that I can do. Yeah, you just said short term, to be fair. Again, I don't really know what short term means to you, but I'd be looking for a bounce at this level and probably moves back up to like 115, 120-ish region in the next few days. It looks okay. It's just kind of sloppy. Lucas DeGrasse, CPC, okay, bought around 75 cents. Will I break even? Okay, CPC. Okay, this thing, I'm guessing. It could have been a stock, could have been legitimate, but no, we have this. All right, you bought around 75 cents. Will I break even? Well, you didn't buy the ultimate high, so it could be worse on the positive side. You did buy pretty close to the all-time high, though. Let's see. So you need about, this is already a dead heartbeat, 75 cents. We only need like a clean 10,000%. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Thing probably does rally from here, but this is just this is the garbage of the garbage. You see another like major drop off like this, and I don't think I don't even think I've seen a chart like this on like a candle dildo format where it's just like this. This thing's not even trading. Avoid it like the plague, sir. Goddamn. Goddamn, sir. Had a breakout a few days ago. You're right, it did have a breakout a few days ago. You just need another 10,000% or so. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely, I'd say. Probably does get another try at like 2.5 cents. Here's the thing though, sir. Here's the thing. At 2.5 cents, hold on. You might be a lot closer to your dreams. Hey, only what the fuck? That's not right. 1350%. Hey, not bad. Sorry, I took it from 5 cents, so we do have to multiply that a little bit more, but better, I guess. Pretty bad, man. Shell Wong Kim, what's up, man? Serum USD, sure. Let's see. We got RM USD. Voice is cracking like a prepubescent teenager, which is good. Makes me sound very sexy. And daily bouncing, I actually like this one. Stair stepping its way up, very, very good. Already closed on the all-time highs. So I look at this one to probably trade sideways from here, consolidate between the 272 and the 414, of which you just hit the 272. So I'd be looking for a short-term bounce back up somewhere above like 10.50, maybe as much as $11 or so. Then again, I go down to the 4 hour and I don't feel as I don't feel as confident on the 4 hour, actually. 4 hour kind of looks a little bit wrecked right here. If it does want to have another downside move, the obvious area is going to be about 860 to 855 or so. And I'd actually really, really like that area. Daily disagrees with me and does say we probably do put in a bit of a local low right here. Again, this one's had a really good run. Similar to a couple of the other ones that we looked at. But I do expect that, at best it goes sideways here, basically between what is this, about 9.5 and its high is about 11.5. For a while, reconsolidates, and then probably has a resolution maybe like October or so. But I think at best it goes sideways here. You're gonna big problems are gonna be below. Let's see, big problems below about 870. Sorry, the downside target would be more like 870, not 860 or 850. Be more like 870 or so if it does lose its current level. But as long as it's above there long term, I actually do like it. And I do look at this just reconsolidating and reaccumulation after a pretty impressive run here, and another SAM token as well. So who knows what he has up his sleeve long term. What's up, Dennis W? Check out Crypto Island Group, Sisla, a really genuine project, first ever private island owned by hodlers and decentralized, hidden gem. That sounds like a marketing ploy to me. Let's see, does it have a chart? It doesn't have a chart, sir. Okay, so that was just like a marketing message. How? Well, of course, yeah. Well, of course, you're not going to know that. I mean, I do look it up myself as well. You have to say this. This is a really genuine project. That's right. I'll buy your bag, sir. Say no more. Right? Say no more, sir. If first ever private island owned by hodlers and decentralized. How does that make sense? I'm sorry, but how does that make sense? Maybe I'm just being naive here, but my detectors for interesting statements are firing off right now. I'm not sure what to think about it. Let's see. The real BK says CVX. Okay, yeah, we can look at Convex. This thingy again. Let's see. Oh, we got a move from yesterday. Nice one. I'd actually be looking for another move back up towards 0.042 or so. First test was rejected, but this is not really rejection right here. This one's just sideways and up. Short term, does it come back down and tag around 0.0036? Maybe yes. I have nothing bearish to say about it as long as above about 0.0033 though. So sideways and up is the name of the game here. It looks fine. Kind of sloppy. I mean, not too much history, but overall okay. Yeah, short term a bit of sideways here. It's just this thing obviously doesn't really trade too much. I mean, I'm looking at volume right here, and it's like literally 37. 37 in an hourly. 2 on this hour right now, so not too interesting, but I do expect it. It is rather constructive. What's up, the real green squared? Harmony 1. Okay, all right, we can do that one. Time frames. No time frames given. No time frames given. No time frames given. It's not only is it not like short or long term, sir. It's just no time frames given. All right, I'll just go with the daily then. Again, same thing as as what we just looked at like a couple charts ago. Bit of a range here after a nice run. This is a good thing long term, but I just don't think it's going to be doing anything too interesting for now. If it does lose about 15 cents, I would look for a nice down move to about 13 and a quarter or so. But for right now, very likely does try to rally off this region and put in another, just sideways move and reconsolidate. I don't have any major issues with this chart right here. Again, if it does lose 15 cents though, nice move down to about 13 and a quarter would be where I'd be looking. But long term, I'm never going to be bearish on something that's printed new all-time highs right here. I just expect a bit of sideways consolidation for a while. Again, I don't know what time frame you want me to go off right there, so I don't know where else to put that one. But overall, mostly just sideways between about 15 and 18 if I had to guess right now for the short and medium term. Legend Ali's, he's back. Soul 4-hour daily. Yeah, we should do this one actually. See? Here we go. Actually, I already got it in my charts. And you said, by the way, Microsoft closed on another all-time high. Maybe I don't need to worry. Maybe I don't need to move to Scott's mom after all. But does she cook? That might be a good enough reason, man. You could save money on food, sir. Yeah, man. Microsoft is just a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Now you know why I love it. Just to reward the good charts. Anyways, Solana over here. We should record this one too. Here we have Solana, symbol SOL versus the dollar, and this one going into a nice sideways consolidation after putting in, one of the more impressive rallies that we've seen in this space over the past couple months here. Very, very good. But similar to some of the other charts that we've looked at, once you see something like this, you're probably looking for some sideways constructive consolidation for a while. And I'd kind of be saying the same thing on this. It is dancing around its short-term area right here, which I have at about 149 or 150. If it does start to lose that region, I'd be looking for a nice downside move somewhere between about 130 to 135 or so before the next bounce. Again, I'm not calling any like major reversals here. This is a very good chart long term, but is it ready to come down? Perhaps. I mean, this one actually could come down to $100 and it'd still look pretty damn good long term actually. So I would go level by level here. Go down to a daily. I still probably wouldn't call it before the daily 21's taken out. In this case, do we see anything as far as momentum oscillators go? We do see volatility coming all the way down. We do see Joule coming all the way down as well. Daily RSI's kicked out of the bullish control zone. I'm curious what momentum oscillators come up with something a little bit more perhaps actionable. Oh, well, this is an hourly. We'll be popping up back above about 149. 4-hour is 150, 158 basically. Daily is down as long as below 190. I'm inclined to say this one probably does actually break down here after like maybe an hourly bounce. How would you know that it's actually safe at this current level on a short-term time frame? Hourly closure back above about 163 would do it for me, and I'd be looking for it to fill out the top side of the range yet again, somewhere between about 175 to 180, and then it probably does end up holding this level, obviously. But medium and higher term time frames are suggesting that this one probably does come down first, somewhere around about 135. Then again, if the rest of the market trades sideways here and probably up, then is this thing going to break down? Probably not. Probably going to trade sideways at best, or sorry, at worst. See what the 2-day says. Not give me too much. 3-day, same thing as well. 135 would be very, very obvious if it does hit around there just for a bounce. Weekly, it's not bad. Not bad, but it is, I would say that there are more toppy signals here than not. So maybe after a bit of a short-term bounce, assuming that it doesn't get back above about, what was it, about 163, I'd probably be looking for it to roll on over and come down a little bit more. I mean, this technically is a redistributed pattern right here. This would be a descending triangle, right? And you're actually kind of freshly breaking it right now. And momentum oscillators are, bearish, and volatility is also taken up as this thing does, put in lower lows. So I'm inclined to say that this one does, maybe play out a very short-term bounce up on the hourly, and then assuming it doesn't get above those critical levels, I'd probably be looking down around about 135 or 130 or so. So hopefully that was helpful for Solana. Again, I'm not bearish on this one long-term in any way, shape, or form. This is one of the better charts, or one of the best charts in cryptocurrency, but of course, what goes up must come down and consolidate a little bit lower. Just be looking for like weekly higher lows at some point, and that would be good. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. Okay. Sachin says Mantra DAO Ohm token. All right, so symbol OM, a lot easier. This thingy, Mantra DAO. All right. I've learned not to judge things before looking at them. And this one's actually okay. Golden cross on the daily right here. Volatility taken down throughout this whole consolidation around the highs of the rally. That's a good sign. Obvious invalidation point below about 21 cents or so. But until that gets hit, I'd actually be looking for upside resolution on this one back up to 30 cents, and then probably does break that area long term. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one at like 47, maybe even 50 cents long term, like a couple months down the road. But again, invalidation below 21 cents below there, this one's going to look pretty fucking bad for a retracement all the way down at least to like 17 cents, maybe even lower over time. Okay, cool. Nice one, sir. Jesse Foster says a few people hating on GRT up in here, so GRT on the daily, please. Sure. All right. Okay, we can look at it. People are hating on it. Everyone has their favorite and least favorite coins, right? This one right here, not as interesting, to be fair. Now, I would say, because within the current context of this market, we do see a lot of things putting in very like healthy consolidations in a similar format to this, but if I was just looking at this one, I'd say probably not. 12-hour looks like it wants to test the downside first at 80 cents. But, technically speaking, if you do want a bit of hopium for this one, I guess this level would work as well. But I'm going to go with the more conservative view on this one. Look, as long as this thing's above 80 cents, I do look at this as probably just a sloppy version of what we do see across most of the cryptocurrency landscape right now. It probably does move back up north of $1, but below 80 cents, there's no like there is no, what's the word I'm looking for, excuses for it any longer. This is a weak chart, no doubt about it. It's a very weak chart actually. And below 80 cents, I'd be looking for a return back down to like 65, maybe somewhere around like 65 to 60 cents or so. So this one's not going to really operate too well on its own. I expect that it only like moves up alongside a strong broad market. This one's not strong on its own. In short term, it very likely does test down around that 80% region. So hopefully for your sake, it does hold up there. MM says ETN. Okay, Electronium, huh? Weekly, monthly on Europe. ETN, this thingy, huh? Let me just double check that I got the right one. Yeah, ETN, weekly, monthly. 4 hours breakdown. Weekly is selling off tests of the prior highs. That's to be expected. Long term, it's actually pretty good. Long term, this is actually pretty damn good. But short term, does it come back down and test around like 2 cents or so? Probably yes. But again, I'm not calling like a macro high here. Long term, it's good. Wouldn't be surprised to see it, retest all time highs, in the next couple months, and probably make new all time highs from there. But for right now, short term is sideways and down. Very likely consolidates lowers. Stephen Pitcher says poop coins are bouncing to drag the last few retail investors in. Bitcoin dominance is in a bouncy bounce area to at least 45, 46. We did actually go over this earlier. I was looking at 43.5%. But of course you are free to have your own thoughts as well, obviously. Most alts looking toppy versus Bitcoin. If most alts look toppy versus Bitcoin, that's not to say that they're toppy versus the US dollar. Typically, they follow whatever Bitcoin's doing versus US dollar. So I think that, or at least in my experience, that synopsis is kind of uncorrelated if you're looking at that to judge like a massive move on like a massive downside move on Bitcoin. In fact, it'd be usually the opposite in my experience. Not necessarily the opposite, but you expect that Bitcoin dominance is going to go up when Bitcoin essentially leads the upside rallies, or of course when it breaks down as well. But Bitcoin dominance going up, usually with Bitcoin in an uptrend, which technically it's a lot closer to that right now than it's not, is actually a pretty damn good sign for the general health of the market. So I'd actually strongly disagree with that. But fair enough. I think maybe I don't necessarily understand exactly what you're trying to say, anyways, because it's a bit convoluted there. What's up, Eternal? Love you as well, sir. SNX USD, sure. Sure, we can check that one out. All right, what we got right here. And where are we at? Short term, or what time frames are you looking at? Daily and weekly. Okay, so you're not interested in the short term time frames. You're looking for a bounce off pretty much this level right here, like 1365, 1370 or so. It actually looks like we tested down there yesterday. As long as you're above there, this one's generally fine. I don't have any issues with it. And I'll probably be looking for a bit of a short-term sideways consolidation right here. And yeah, short-term does very likely test back down around about maybe even 1865 again, or 1880, or sorry, 1380 or so. But if we go to the weekly, I'm not bearish on a chart that looks like this. Any sort of a closure this week above, especially 14 bucks, but even like 1370, and I'll be looking for the general rally to continue into the next week or so, into the upper teens, actually 18 to 19 or so. What's up, Saturn Epoch? Rose USD, sure. What is this? Yos Bitcoin 100K end of year Yolko Setko Elson Kansa Torili. Don't know, but I think that might be the yeah. That is not what that sounded like, actually. Oh, are we gonna run to the marketplace? Maybe so. Let's see. Okay, so we got what right here? We're looking at a 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily, I think. 4 hour short term down to be looking for a move to like 24, 23 cents or so. Hourly, same thing, just sideways here. Really, I do like this chart actually. But when we look at the daily, it becomes a lot more obvious. We got a range going on between about 28.5 cents and all the way down to about 22 cents. And I'd be looking for next test to the downside. Probably does hold it up. I wouldn't be bearish on this thing, especially as long as you're above about 20 cents overall. So, you know, long-term good. I'm never bearish on a chart that looks like this long-term, but short-term and medium-term sideways probably does test the downside again here. And probably test the upside once again as well. I mean, this is fine. Momentum also is a little bit more in bearish posturings, but I don't really put too much on that. What I'm really interested in here is just the range overall. Bullish as long as it's above about 21.25 cents. Regardless of whether tests or not, I'm only interested in breaks below there. What's up, J3F? Does Scott's mom have room for more quick USD 4 hour daily? Sure. Let's see. Looked at this one in a while, or have I even looked at this one quick? Okay, so is it time to move in with Scott? Oh, Scotty doesn't know. Yeah, pretty bad chart here, considering that most shitcoins, the strong ones, were like making new highs and like not just holding on to lows. I guess you can kind of make an excuse for it, just fucking barely above about 482. That is hopium though. This is not a good chart in the context of this market right now. Like this is just not. You know, even if everything else turns around, right, and Bitcoin, you know, blasts up above 50,000 bucks, this thing's just not going to follow as much. But hey, if you want to play the range 480 versus about 520 to the upside, as long as you're above 480, you know, you do have a reversal here, to be fair, and it probably does follow Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin does. But if Bitcoin does choose the downside, which is very possible, this one will retest the lows very likely somewhere around about 425 to 400 or so. This one is very weak on its own. Clear lower highs, clear redistribution as well. Not great, sir. Mitchell, what's up, Mr. Mitchell? CSPR. Okay, this is CRISPR, right? Like the gene editor thingy. Man, this is this is Casper Sleep. Completely different. This one's for good Z's. Pretty shitty actually here. Hidden bearish divergence on the last high. Could we argue that that's already played out? I'd say the majority of it's already probably played out. What time can we go down to, like a lower term time frame? Long term. Okay, you're saying long term. Well, let's go to a weekly then. Pretty bad long term, man. This one's heavily bearish as long as you're below, especially like 6.25 or so. Monthly is just a fucking free fall. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing test down to like 4 to 420 in the next couple of months here. This is not good. There's not a whole hell of a lot of history there, which would be the hopium, but I would imagine, you know, bounces up to $6 are probably going to get sold into if that even happens to begin with. I mean, this is redistribution right here by definition, anyways. If I showed you this chart, would you be bullish or bearish on it? You'd probably be bullish on it. Like clear accumulation, clear reaccumulation. Probably looking at a move back up to $4. Probably $4. Long term, very bad chart. Very bad chart. What happened? Did like someone die in their bed or something? Jin Lee says AGL AS. Sorry, that was insensitive. AGL. Most people die in their beds, I do believe. So, oh god damn, man, Jesus Christ! Just when I thought I saw the worst chart of the day, you brought up this piece of shit. What the fuck? The chart looks sad. The chart doesn't look sad, man. The chart looks like a fucking dumpster fire that someone just sprayed more gasoline on, and then a hobo came around and took like 50 shits in it, which, by the way, burned for a very long time. So that's a very important detail of that. I'd be looking for a bounce maybe somewhat soon, like 480, but that's just a relief bounce. It's not going to be anything more than that. Or $5. Which one? Oh, CSPR USD. Okay, so you're talking about some sort of a Casper Labs. All right, what could this be? There is no long term on something like this, man. It's been around for like 3 months, and it looks pretty bad for the 3 months it's been around for. Look, I mean, I think it's just a sloppy shitcoin right here, and you know, we're just in the like. That's just it. I guess you can make your, or at least you can make excuses for it as long as it's above about 11 cents. But below 11 cents, this thing's gonna fall apart back down to single digits, low single digits. But definitely a weak chart on its own. Gonna need a very strong Bitcoin in order for this one to do anything. But I don't have any long term analysis for you on this. Like, it's been around since May, so I don't think that there's too much to do there, or at least I can't do too much there. But look, if you do start to take out 14.5 cents to the upside, which actually looks okay here, to be fair, I would be looking for another move back around about 20 cents or so. Maybe extends over time, but other than that, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying anything else. Oh god, here we go. Sorry, no, I'm getting there though. Shiba Inu, fucking hell. Jesse Lajoli, BAT USD. Okay, all right. Daily, this thing mirrors 0x. I mean, most things just kind of mirror each other in this market. If you've noticed, they all just kind of fall in varying degrees of strength and weakness. 4 hour daily, but lags just a hair behind, so it's easy money. You not cut hair, I not cut hair either. Yes, that's right. You know, this one's still okay. You know, maybe gets another wick down to like 73 cents or so, but still okay as long as you're closing daily totals above about 3/4. Long term, well, there's not really long term on this one. Long term, it is okay. How far does this go back? Yeah, this actually is pretty damn good long term. The question is, do we, you know, if it does break down below that level that I just spoke about, do we get another move down to like 63 cent or 60 cent? That would look pretty bad. I think monthly's still okay here too. Look, as long as it holds that lows, I'd be looking for another sloppy version of what we've been seeing across the market here, where it rallies back up and reclaims around your late August highs in this case, which would be around about 90 cents. It's probably just easier to watch Bitcoin though, I imagine. I know that you said that it follows 0x, like everything the way that I look at it is like Bitcoin is par for the course, and then everything kind of moves, in accordance with that. I mean, just look at this chart and then look at this chart. It's the same structure right here. This one's just a little bit stronger. That's all. So that's a relatively weak chart. Although it does have a pretty damn good long chart, to be fair, for a 2017 shitcoin. Absolutely. I mean, that's actually rather impressive. But if I had to call it right now, probably does test the upside again. Anyways, Shiba Inu. Oh dear Lord. Here we go. SHIB token. Do this one. Do a video on this one. Oh motherfucker! This thing is just fucking hot garbage, isn't it? Should we do a video on this one? Fuck it, man. I don't have too many videos today, so why not? Here we have Shiba, SHIB token, symbol SHIB versus the dollar. And a very interesting chart right here. Chart of a shitcoin, the chart of only a mother could love. But for right now, it's a short-term bullish. Well, likes to play in this range, it looks like. So haven't made too much money, it looks like, betting against this. Meaning this range, pretty much where it's at right now at about 950. And as low as, well, right here at about 614. So it did hold the lows, to be fair. Did put in a higher low on a 4 hour, to be fair. And actually on a daily as well, not bad. But more importantly with this, I wouldn't be looking for anything like too interesting here as long as it's below about 950. Above 950, this thing can actually go for quite the run, all the way up to like 1200, maybe even extend over time to like 1800 if this thing really starts to break out. But again, not a good sign when you see shit like this rallying up, generally speaking. But this thing, this thing's been pretty dormant throughout the majority of its lifetime, while most of the things been rallying to the moon and beyond. So it's definitely relatively weak, but the question is, can it take out that level or not? Let's go over here and check out momentum also. I don't know how much I trust this shit on like literal, meme tokens, but daily remains up as long as above 700 or so. 12 hour, same thing. 4 hour, 8 would be the magical number. I actually am inclined to say this one probably does take out this level and does put in a rally up to like maybe 11 or 1200 over the next week or two. It's okay there. The 5 day is actually a very good reversal as well, assuming that it closes here or higher. Here's what I feel comfortable in saying. If this one does close above, especially like, 890 by end of day, I would extend those targets up to like 11 or 1200, and then come back to it after that. But it's a long day. It's a long day left to go. And again, it's usually not a great sign when a chart just kind of like, is doing shit like this when most of the things are not. It's certainly relatively weak. So it's like a question of, well, if Bitcoin does lead the rally to the upside, how much does this one follow? So I expect that it's probably just easier to watch Bitcoin as usual. So hopefully that was helpful. But there you go for a SHIB token, I guess. Nice one. Okay, all right. Yeah, we can do a general overview for Ethereum, Mr. Jack. Absolutely. Let's do it right now. In fact, all right. So here we go. Here we have Ethereum symbol ETH versus the dollar, and we got a bit of a range going on. Same thing as yesterday, essentially between the 0.5 and the 382. Lovely, fucking textbook there now, isn't it? Anyways, with that said, it looks like we're actually just freshly testing down to the bottom side of that. And so we would expect a bit of a bounce actually right at the low $3,500 region. So with that in mind, I would say that we do have an invalidation point for this essentially, which actually would confirm a local high and a lower high at that. If we do start to see this one, especially close today's 12-hour or daily below 3,500, if that happens, this one very likely does come all the way back down below 3,400. Maybe even puts another test down to 3,200 over time, although I wouldn't necessarily say that just yet. One thing at a time, obviously. But for right now, as long as it holds the range, this is fine. Looking at momentum oscillators right here, still consolidating very obviously. Maybe down to a 4 is going to be a little more interesting. Yeah, 4-hour dust adjusted, we test the downside again. Probably does give another move down towards 3,500. The question is, do we get closures below there? Do we break structure? If we do, or if Ethereum does, more accurately said, I'd be looking for next move down to about 34. Probably a bounce there, and then maybe continuation down to 32. But for right now, I should probably give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's go check out the higher term timeframes here as well. 2-day is fine. 3-day is also fine, actually. Bullish engulfing that closed, I think, yesterday or the day before that, so pretty damn good. 5-day closing today is also a bullish engulfing, and this is what I feel a lot more comfortable speaking about right here. Any sort of a closure above, especially pretty much here or higher by end of day, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'd be looking for, into the next week or so, test around the prior highs of this rally, somewhere between about 38, maybe even $4,000 actually. This would look really, really good right here. Let's go check out momentum oscillators as well and see what they're saying. See what they have in store. Let's see, 4-hour is down as long as we're below 36, 37 actually. So kind of right around there right now. 12-hour is up as long as we're above 34.58. Whereas our daily is up as long as we're above 33.50. So looking good right there. 2-day 36.30 will actually twist it back up, closing tonight by the way. And 3-day, not anywhere close, but also not closing tonight as well. And then 5 days is going to be 3,800, the magical number right there. So, if you are bullish, you are looking for a move on this one, like sooner rather than later. And when I say that, I mean within the next like 2, maybe max 3 days. Otherwise, it's going to look a lot more like our lower high before we do come back down to 3,200 or so over time. If we do, I just want to see what an hourly looks like right here. 35.44. Actually, a lot of things coming in the current area. Very, very interesting on this one. Not an easy one actually. So if we do go back down to the short-term timeframes here, let me see. I guess I charted this one out maybe for like a bi-hourly. Yeah, probably like a bi-hourly or 4-hourly. Again, as long as this thing does remain above that level, I guess I do keep the Bula Hopium alive for the short term. But realistically, what I want to see if this one is going to have like more short-term continuation from its current level would actually just be back above this region right here on even a 2-hour, which is just below 3,600 actually right now. If that does happen, I'd look for obviously a retest of the highs of this rally, 36.50 or so, and then very likely continuation to those higher term time frame targets that we spoke about earlier. Just double checking over here. Yeah, daily still okay. 12-hour. Still okay as well. So I think it's best that I leave it at that, but I actually would be leaning towards an upside resolution on this one. Maybe we could check it out from this angle over here and see if there's anything more to be interested in. Jesus Christ, too many lines is what I'm not interested in right now. Let's see. No, not really giving us too much actually. Hourly, probably one more move down to like 35.30 or so, but overall, is that a break? Not just yet. I'd keep an eye on about 3,500 on preferably a higher time from like a 12-hour or a daily for this one. If you want to be aggressive, maybe a full hour just below 3,500 would probably do it. But at the end of the day, just easier to watch Bitcoin in this case. The upside's a lot easier to judge in this one. Again, above about 3,600, I would look for another move to about 3,650, and then very likely continuation into next week. Other than that, though, sideways is the name of the game right here, and volatility on the hourly still kind of coming down. So I don't know if we're going to see a resolution like at least until U.S. markets open up a little bit later. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ethereum. Nice one. Nice one. Let me get back on over into the chatties right here. Okay. Edward Preston says, look at Veed on the daily. Okay. Veed, Vim World. All right. Not bad. I mean, it's only been around for like a few months, but at least for the history that we've had here, it ain't bad. Wouldn't mind another move back down to like 1 cent or so. Probably do look for a bounce there, but do I think that it's going to resolve like today? Probably not. Doing something like this. If you're bullish, you're looking at something like this, likely something like that. Invalidation point more obviously is going to be below about 1 cent. Actually, below 1 cent, I'd be looking for this one to fall apart down to like 0.8 of a cent. But for right now, well, it's been mostly going up for its whole history. So again, user watch Bitcoin for direction. This one actually acting relatively strong, to be fair. Let's see. Steven Pitcher says, I'm bullish on the market. Okay. I just think a lot of people looking for alt season. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same opinion as well. I think alt season is mostly bullshit in general. And we have already had it. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, altcoins had a phenomenal run. I would 100% agree right there. Yeah. So it sounds like I probably just didn't understand your prior message, man. Alt USD up, alt BTC down. Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just they don't follow as much, so they lose versus the Bitcoin parent. And do I think that Bitcoin dominance could get to the same levels that you spoke about earlier? It's possible. I mean, I do think 43.5 would be like a pretty staunch area, unless if this thing's like fully reversing. And if it's fully reversing, then back above 47, man, I don't think it'd stop there. That would be like your last lower high. So while it probably has like a little bit of a short-term pivot, at that point, I'd call it a reversal on this thing. And again, I do agree with you. It probably does, put in a short-term upside move, but does it come back about 47%? If it does, then we have something completely new going on. And so that would be worth considering, because at that point, it's very unlikely to stop there long-term. It's going to very likely go into like the mid-50s, and altcoin Bitcoin parents are going to get absolutely fucking schlacked, which probably going to be healthy for the market, to be fair. I totally agree with you on that, man. What's up, Fat Killer? Can you take a look at Fat Killer? Sir, this is 2021. You can't say shit like that. You can't say shit like that. Do you call yourself the flu? Just kidding. Bow USD. All right. Let's see. That was a bad thing to say. Pretty bad. Pretty terrible chart here, actually. Very bad chart, in fact. One of the worst charts that we've seen today, although it's not the worst chart, but it's pretty bad. I imagine it's probably going to ground at the current lows at like, what is this? 0.038 a few more times, and then put in a bit of a rally. But do not confuse a rally with a reversal long term. This is just garbage. This is a garbage chart, total garbage chart. Something like this, what you're looking like long term, something like that. I mean, good charts do not do shit like this. I'm guessing this is probably like a reward token. If it is, then people probably just sell the shit out of it, which looks pretty fucking obvious. So yeah, man, not very helpful right there, I understand, but or maybe just not what you want to hear. But I mean, look at this chart right here. It doesn't trade at all. Who sold you on this thing, man? It's probably gonna rally off this level again, but do not confuse rally with long-term reversal. That is a garbage chart. What's up, John Dye? ASON on daily, weekly. Okay. ASAN. This thingy, or is it a crypto? Nope. It's a real stock. It's a real thing. Very good. Oh, and this is what you get in the stock market. You get stocks that just go up, baby. They just go up. Daily, weekly. Okay. Daily. Good. Never gonna be bearish on something that closes on new all-time highs. Volatility is getting really, really high here, though. I suspect that this will hit 100% before the next like general pullback. Weekly, same thing. Very likely reaches towards new all-time highs first before the next sort of decent pullback. But how high do we get? We're right at the 414. I expect that this one probably goes for like 125 first and then pulls back. It's close, though. Like, understand, it's very, very close. It's getting very, very hot, but I think it probably puts in a move to like 120 or 125 or so first. Okay. We're going to do a rabbit hole deep dive on DYDX. There is no rabbit hole deep dive to do on something that's been around for this one. I imagine is extremely new. Look, man, it's been, what fucking deep dive do we have to do on something that's been around for less than a week? Hey, man, less than a week. Deep dive. All right, so I'm looking at the monthly here, and just one massive green dildo. What does that mean? Aliens. Look, there's barely even a fucking 4-hour analysis to give on something like this. It's very likely to go up from here. It's good. It's a great 4-hour chart. Great 4-hour chart. Probably looking at 20 plus. Probably looking at 21 to 25 or so. It's not bad. It's very, very good on the short-term time frames, but again, way too early. What's up, Timothy Break? Morning to you as well, man. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. When doing these videos, you should market it and make a funny ad. We already have our own merchandise, but I appreciate the idea. Very, very good entrepreneurial spirit. FLR USD. Okay, so this is Spark. It'd also be like quite concerning if I saw other people walking around with that hat. This is not hosted on TradingView. I imagine this is incredibly new, but yeah, it is not on TradingView right now, so I can't pull it up, unfortunately, man. I do apologize about that. I know that that's annoying, but I'm limited by what TradingView happens here. I'm guessing it's like just like extremely fucking niche. Like either it's like literally like the shittiest of shitcoins, which is hard to imagine because, you know, TradingView even like includes fucking SHIB token, right? It's probably just too new if I had to guess. Andrew Mills says Polkadot. No, actually we haven't done this. We can do this one. Let me double check how many videos I have for today. We might even record this one too. Let's see. It is the 17th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should record this one. It's actually a pretty easy chart right here. Very easy one, actually. Yeah, let's do it. Here we have Polkadot symbol DOT versus the dollar. We'll do a general overview on this one as we do have a nice chart setup going on right now. Now, we do have a potential drive of phantom hidden bullish divergence on the 12-hour going on right here. And if that does get confirmed by closing either here or higher in the next 5.5 hours or so, I would be looking for another retest of the highs at about 38, 39 bucks and very likely new all-time high. Or is this one at new all-time highs? Sorry, no, not new all-time highs, but I would be looking for extension somewhere between about 41, maybe even 45 bucks into next week or so. With that said, this always comes with an invalidation point on the other side. And where would that be? Short-term time frames, very obviously below about 34 bucks. This one looks good though. Hidden bullish evidence right there. 4-hour jewel has lost its downside curvature throughout that nice correction. And if it does start to get cyan, that would look really, really good alongside an accompanied BBWP expansive read. If you get that, that'll look really, 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 really good for continuation here around your prior highs in like the mid to low 40s into next week or so. 5-day also closing today as well, and that is good. That's good. Again, be aware of the invalidation point, but overall, pretty decent chart right here. Actually, again, that beautiful consolidation into the golden cross right here. That's what I'm looking for on those golden cross examples. This one actually never even put in a downtrend on September 7th on that infamous day. And volatility on the daily is actually starting to expand here as well. Let's just double check over here. Imagine things are probably up on the daily, but let's just ensure that. 12-hour will be flip-flopping back up with any sort of closure above 37.60. Daily is up as long as above about 37, and full hour is freshly popping up as long as above 34.87 or so. So yeah, actually pretty good setup right here. In fact, again, invalidation below where was it? I think it was like about 33.5 or so, or 34 bucks. Yeah, about 34 bucks on a 4-hour closure. But for right now, pretty interesting chart actually. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for DOT. Hex Roman. I wonder what you're gonna ask about Hex. So last time we looked at Hex, I did say it's probably put in a major top, but I would be looking for a short-term bounce. Let's see if that was correct. Let's see. Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten the bounce that I'm looking for just yet. Or actually, hold on. We did see it yesterday. 41 cent. I think that this one probably gives it one more try to the upside. Actually. Let's go back down to the 4-hour right here. This is sloppy here, but I probably would be looking for maybe one more push to like 43 cent, maybe even as much as 45 cent. But as long as this thing's below 45 cent, I am looking at this as very likely your first major top being put on this one. 5-day closing today. Any sort of a closure basically below if this thing were to close below like 37 cent, that would look very obviously bearish before a move over the next like couple months down to 20 to 25 cent. Maybe even lower than that over time. But for right now, it's pretty critical, like next 17 hours, in fact. If this one does not test the regions that I spoke about, like 43, maybe even a little bit higher than that by end of day, If it's trading sideways right here, it'd be okay, but especially if it were to break it back down below 38 cent, I would actually be extending my downside targets significantly. But for right now, I'd give it a chance. You know, the weekly is still okay, the monthly is still okay. Obviously, the quarterly is still phenomenal. But other than that, the cracks are starting to really show on this one. So I would be, well, dare I say, careful on something like this. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. But if I did have to call it right now, I do think short term it does try another upside move. So maybe it does salvage it right there. The obvious thing that I'd be looking for a breakdown is a daily below about 38 cent today is where I'd be looking towards. But if I just call it short term timeframes, I do think it tries 43 cent first before anything else, and then come back to it at the end of the day and see where we're at. Yarek Petrosky says, AVAX please sir, medium long term. I'm also curious, like why do all the hex people have hex in their name? Like I don't really see too many other I don't see other cryptocurrencies represented in people's name. Just out of curiosity, is that like a thing that you have to do if you join the community? Or I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. I'm just genuinely curious. Like why is that? Like I really only see that with like Hex, and then I saw it with XRP, and then I saw it with BitConnect, and now I'm seeing a trend. Anyways, I'm genuinely curious though. Like why is that? You don't really see that in other communities. Anyways, what are we looking at here? Avalanche. Yeah, Avalanche is looking great, actually. Here we have Avalanche, symbol AVAX, looking pretty damn good. I believe we were looking for a bit of a sideways correction plus upside resolution yesterday, and we're getting that right now. In fact, this one closed on new all-time highs yesterday as well, so very, very good right here for AVAX. And I'm never going to be bearish on something that's closing on new all-time highs. 5-day closing later today, anywhere here or higher, and I'd be bullish for new all-time highs coming into next week. Actually, we could come up with a bit of an area of interest or extension, and let's just see where we're at. I guess I already had one in there. I'd be looking for a move towards about $80 still, and potential to get above $100 maybe into October or so. This is very, very good right here, actually. 2-day chart, good. Don't have any issues with this. 2-day Jewel actually even just got a signal as well. Daily, same thing, and we are seeing trend continuation off of increasing volatility, and we do see momentum on the same side as well with daily Jewel, so I do like that. Of course, it's always going to come with an invalidation point on the other side. In this case, it would be, we can get rid of yesterday's analysis right here, and it'd just be below about $54. Below $54, I would say that this one's no longer short, medium, and long term, or I wouldn't say long term, but short and medium term bullish. However, very, very short term, so it looks like it wants to test back down to like 59, maybe 59 and a quarter or so. Go over here and check out momentum oscillators as well. Certainly one of the more impressive charts that we've seen today. Let's see, daily will be remaining with upside posturing as long as above about 62 and a half, 12-hour as long as above 60 and a quarter, 4-hour as long as above 66. So it is suggesting that short-term timeframes probably do consolidate a little bit lower here. Probably do consolidate a little bit lower, but again, as long as it doesn't crack back down below about 54 and a quarter, I do look for that to very likely just put another higher low on the short and medium-term timeframes and lead up to long-term continuation. For right now, again, be aware of the invalidation point, but overall, one of the more impressive charts that we've seen today, no doubt about that. And long-term, a very good chart. And I've also understand that this one's like catching a lot of fire now too. I see a lot of people talking about it, but I don't see people who have it in their YouTube usernames, which is weird. I would expect that. But hopefully that was helpful, and there you go. Are you going to be Hex Elsa or Elsa Hex? Or Hex Elsa? I don't know, but you should also make a Twitter profile with it as well. Cool. Yeah, man. Very, very good one for AVAX. Sweet. Oh, shit. Sorry about that, Mr. T. Yeah, we can look at it versus Bitcoin pairing. I imagine it's probably going to be somewhat similar. Yeah, pretty damn good here. I wouldn't really have too many new things to say about this. It's just same chart, different numbers. Where do your short-term invalidation point be? Below about 11,500 would be it for me. And it does look like it wants to test some short-term downside, but long-term, this is great. Really, really good chart here. 5-day closing today. Just remains within the overall long-term uptrend, so I do like that. So nice. Very, very good for AVAX. Andrew Mo says AIOZ. Stock or crypto? Oh, god damn it, it's crypto. All right, QDERP coin, and what time frame, sir? No time frames given. No time frames given. No quarter shown. Again, another chart with not much history here. It's okay. I mean, obviously we have an uptrend. It's just I want to see like years, not months. In this case, probably is looking at a higher low right here on the at around 33 cent or so, and probably does move back up towards 35 and a half cent or so. I would start to get, like, I guess, bearish on this, if you will, below about 30 cent on a daily, and look for moves back down towards 25, maybe even as deep as 20 cent. But I expect that it's just kind of a little bit more of a, like a sloppy looking chart, so that's why it kind of looks bizarre. But when you go to the higher term time frames, it does even it out a bit. And I'm essentially looking at this as just reaccumulation and just stair stepping it up. Yeah, there's not even really monthly. It's good though. It's good. It's just the question is, does it test the downside first or not? Short-term time frames say it probably tries for a low here. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, this one's looking for a move today though. BBWP very, very low on hourly. 4 hour is actually still contracting though, so that would kind of negate that statement. But then again, it is rather new. I'll just be looking for sideways and up. Is there anything else I want to say about this one? Probably not. No, I think it's best that I stop there. So hopefully that's helpful, sir. DG King says WNCG. Just one, sir. Man, my voice is already wrecked. Let's see. I don't even know if this one's gonna pop anything up. Okay, Will Wrapped 9 Chronicles Gold. I think you forgot like a buzzword in there or something, sir. What time frames? No time frames given. God damn it, sir. God damn it. Daily, this one's been around literally for like 3 or 4 weeks. That's not helpful. Hourly. Is this one looking a little bit short-term toppy? Probably yes. Come on, show it to me. I don't really have a strong opinion on this one, actually. 4 hours fine. You know, hourly probably does trade sideways and up from here. I would essentially be looking for sideways and up on this one, especially as long as you're about 150. Below 150, I'd be looking for a deeper retracement down to like 130, 135 or so. But for right now, it's okay. It's just there's not really much history on this thing, and I never really feel comfortable with a chart like this. 4 hour doesn't even really get much. Hourly is kind of usable here, I think. If I did have called, I do think it has a little bit of short-term down, maybe back down to like 165, 166, and then probably does try another upside move, maybe as far as like maybe as far as like $2. Then I'd be looking for big tops around there. Other than that, I really don't feel comfortable in a chart like this. Below 150 is the obvious error, or more like 155 before looking for like a deep retracement. Until then, I guess you just, I guess if I had to trade this, I'd just be looking for sideways and up, although you are starting to lose momentum here, and bearish divergence on an hourly, probably not a death sentence, obviously, but fair enough. Yeah, probably best that I leave it right there. Band USD. Okay. This is one that I've heard before, I believe. Definitely not a strong one, at least in the short-term time frames. I do think it's going to come back down and test around like 930. What time frames are you looking at though? No time frames given. God damn it. Again, we have the same sort of chart that we've seen several times today. This one's just, again, another example of a relatively weaker chart. You got a bit of a range going on right here, obviously. And I would give the bulls the nod here, obviously, as well. As long as it does hold essentially $8.50, below $8.50 on a daily. And yeah, I'd be looking for a breakdown back down to like seven, actually probably more like 7 actually. But for right now, sideways and up is probably the name of the game here. It's just how much more sideways do we go? Because short-term timeframes do look like they are downside poised. As always, it's easier to watch Bitcoin in these situations because it's going to drive the general direction of the market. But if I am looking at this right here, 4 hour RSI is bearish, or at least it's short-term down, and 4 hour BBWP is on the floor. So if that starts to expand alongside a breakdown here, I would be looking for a move down to like $9 first before anything else. I don't know how low of a time frame you want me to go on this one. But again, it's all about the higher term time frames today, the 5-day especially. If this thing closes today above, especially $10, that would be very, very obvious. But even like 9.5, or sorry, 9.75, where we're almost at right now, anywhere between there would look very, very good coming into next week. Probably be getting a move, another try back up somewhere around like $14 into October. But again, it's a long day left to go, and that's probably what I'd feel a lot more confident with saying right now. Other than that, sideways is good on this one. Obviously, it does hold the lows, so give it the benefit of the doubt is kind of my general rule for that. Hey, what's up, Daniel Lowe? Luna? Yeah, we can do Luna. Actually, Luna would be a really good one to record. Luna USD. Okay, sweet. All right, let me just put it out of the way. Do we want to do a new one there too? Because we could. You know what? Let's do that, actually. It's going to be relevant, especially for this one. All right, here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA versus the dollar, and we have a very glorious chart that is trading at pretty much all-time highs right now. 5 days closing later today, and by the way, this is looking pretty damn good. Any sort of a closure today, especially here higher, $40 would look really, really good. But I would be looking for a general continuation of new all-time highs coming into into early October, or actually, I guess probably next week actually, if that were to happen. Let's see where our areas of interest would be. In this case, next move to the upside would be looking at around $56 before the next sort of local high gets put in on a continuation drive. Now, how would I judge a continuation drive? I'd want to see a 4-hour closure back above about 42 and a half or so. For now, short-term timeframes, a little bit of short-term down, obviously. This one can come all the way down to $33 and still look pretty damn good. I would not be concerned about this thing as long as it's above, especially, well, 33, but even $30. I'd go as far as saying that. Now, if it does start to lose about $33, I would be looking for a drive down to about $27 first, and I'd be looking for a nice bounce there. And that would actually look pretty damn obvious too. What I'm trying to say is that long term, this one looks really, really good. Are we looking for short-term continuation like now, or does it come, maybe in like a couple of weeks or so? And looking at our shorter-term time frame momentum also is like hourly right here. A little bit, yeah, short-term a bit of downside angle. 4-hour, yeah, freshly down as long as below 38.85. Daily down as long as below 39.25. So actually, now that I look at that, I am a lot more inclined to say that this one very likely does actually test the downside first. Dare I say that? But technically speaking, I do have to stick to my rules here. I would like to see an actual break about, you could probably use this area right here, 33 3/4 first, and then I'd be looking for that move down to the bottom side of the range. But this would look really, really interesting right here. And again, end of day, that's the one that I'd really be focusing on right here. In fact, now that I look at the 5-day, I don't think that's too likely. One actually might just bust through right here. This one's pretty damn good on the higher term time frames. All higher term time frames on this are bullish. Bullish, but those can take some time to play out, obviously, weeks. For right now, I'd probably just stick with that, as long as it's above 30, what was it, like 30, 33, 34, as long as it's above there, I mean, that kind of makes it a lot more easy, and sideways is obviously going to be good for the boo laws. But if it starts to break that region, I would look for a deeper retracement first, obviously, before the next sort of try up. Again, areas of interest to the downside would be $30, and then I believe it was 27 or 28. 27 and a quarter actually. Until then, sideways very, very good for the boo laws. Keep an eye on the 5-day closure coming in tonight, and that would judge sort of my next week biases, I suppose. Hopefully that was helpful, and go for it, Lunas tunas. What's up, Andrew Mo? Wax P, okay. All right. Oh, it's another crypto I've never heard of. Man, you love these new charts. Again, no time frames given, so what do you want me to do with this? I don't fucking know. Pretty bad chart for the history that we do have. This would look like redistribution right here, the rolling hills, but I mean, it's probably just in a liquid shitcoin. Probably very few people trade it. In fact, I would imagine that's easily verifiable by looking at the volume over here, and yep, that would be very much true. Look, you are in a bit of a short-term range, yes. This is a fucking hourly, by the way. This is a 4-hour. I guess you can make an excuse for it as long as it does hold about basically 28 cent. Below there on a 4-hour, probably do look for another move back down to like 26 and a half cent. And the easy call would be above about 29 cent. I would look for another rally somewhere back up around 30 cent or so. But again, a very unimpressive chart here. Very, very unimpressive chart. I think at best it goes sideways, to be honest with you, man. But short term probably does actually pop back up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one give a short term rally up to like 29 cent or so. Actually, okay, short term. Same thing with 4 hours as well. Probably be looking for next test up, and then hey, if it starts to take out 29 cent, then yeah, extend those. I would extend those targets. But for right now, not so interesting, I would say. All right, cool. Let's see, Mr. KRAF, what's up, man? Thank you. Just a nice positive message. Thank you, sir. I salute you. Cool. Oh, we got huge ass titties. Nice. I like it. Great name. Hello, sir. Should I short D's nuts in the hourly? You should, but make sure that you use, protection as well. And that means wearing a condom while you also masturbate, because then it makes cleanup easier, sir. And a mask. Yes, wear a mask. So if you, wear a mask in your car and also wear a condom when you masturbate. Just, it is for your safety after all. Sorry. Joseph Valkov, we've already looked at Harmony 1. In fact, I recorded that one, so we're good there. Justin Tomiak, we could do XRP actually. That would be one we'll be even recording. Let's see what we got here. let's see what we got here. All right, here we have Ripple, symbol XRP versus the dollar, and still ranging here, kind of where we left it last. Wouldn't mind another move back down to about $1.05 or so, but that is where the hopium does stop. So as long as this thing is closing daily dodos, even probably 4 hours as well. Yeah, about 4 hours above about 105. I do look at this as okay. It's just kind of sloppy right here. It's just it's just the way that Ripple kind of operates sometimes. But as long as it's above there, I do look at this as very likely to trade sideways and up from this current range. Daily Jewel, a little bit of positive curvature, even as a somewhat of an okay signal right there. BBWP looking like it wants to expand, but not quite there just yet. I want to see those signals first before I do call a move short term to like 117.5 to 120ish region. 4 hour. Bit of a bullish reset, BBWP on the floor. So we're probably looking at a move today or maybe tomorrow at latest, I think. And I would be biased towards the upside in this one. Let's go check out the higher term timeframes. 2 days, fine. Yeah, I'd probably be looking for this one to put in a rally towards $1.25, maybe in $1.30 over the next like week. 3 day, same thing. 5 day, definitely a laggard right here, but okay. Go look at momentum also it is here. See if there's anything like glaringly obvious about this. Daily up as long as above about $1.10, so that'd be your short-term resolution, maybe on like a 4 hour. Oh, and what do you know? We have a nice little trend line right here as well. Basically just below 112 on a 4 hour, and I'd be looking for that next short-term move to the upside, probably about $1.17.5, maybe in $1.20, and then continue that into next week perhaps. Let's go back on over here and see what the 12 hour says. Up as long as above about $1.06. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to bounce from this current region and probably put in a bit of a short-term rally, which can obviously extend into next week if those higher-term time frame targets are met. A daily closure above about 1.25 would look really, really good for long-term continuation actually as well. So hopefully that was helpful for Ripple. All right, sweet. No Handle says, Lycee, I bought the S-Pack at cost basis 10.49. Am I fucked? I don't know. This thing? You bought it at 10.5. Well, it's not the best chart of all time. It's not a very good chart. It's pretty bad. Okay, you bought it at 10.5. You bought it at 10.5. Is that right? 10.5. You're over here. So you bought the breakdown basically. Look, I actually do think that you're putting in a bit of a short-term reversal here. The question is, does it continue into next week? This one's really fucking weak, man. I think it could get back up to $10 actually. Wouldn't be asking for too much, but I'm kind of thrown off here a bit because when I go down to like a 4 hour, it's a completely different chart than a daily, right? So let's go back to the 4 hour right here. Here's what I feel a lot more comfortable saying. I would actually say that you're probably not that fucked, or at least you could get out, maybe even break even if you're lucky from the trading gods. If this thing trades back above about 9.15, that's like your obvious top side of the range right now. But this is to be looked at least in my opinion, as redistribution first before anything else. And you just sold off on the top side of the range actually. So I expect that this one's going to test the bottom side of the range yet again before anything else. And then you got to hold your breath, because if it breaks down, then obviously, the Bula hopium's not going to hold through. And this thing's going to make new lows before it maybe even ever tries in another rally towards your lovely entry of about 10.50 or so. But look, back above about 9.15, I do think that you actually would be probably at least $10 at that point. Maybe you get lucky with 10.50 or so. But again, this thing's in a very strong downtrend as long as you're below about 11.5. So that's a lot. It's a lot of hopium. I want to shoot you straight, man. That is hopium. And short term, I do think that this one will test the downside yet again. So fair enough. Just be aware of where your risk is and be ready to take a decision, perhaps, whenever you get into a situation like this. What's up, Sinegra? All good, man. All good. I appreciate the awareness, man. That's actually really, really nice. If I don't have the collateral for Bitcoin options yet, would you suggest Ethereum options? They're not very liquid, as you kind of postulated right there. Look, even the Bitcoin options on Deribit are like not that liquid, but it's the most liquid option that you have currently speaking. I suspect that this will change once FTX starts to like really integrate their Ledger X acquisition, because they'll very likely be doing options from there. It's going to take some time for the market to mature, I think, man. I think it's going to take, we're probably years out, to be honest with you. Like, even the Bitcoin options are still pretty inconsequential for what it's worth. So, would I suggest doing Ethereum options? I probably wouldn't, man. No. The liquidity is going to be an issue. And the reason why I said that isn't because I don't think that you can't make money with it. Obviously, you can. The opportunity is there. But the problem is that if you get into a position that starts to run against you, then you're going to run into other issues with pulling in your deltas and whatnot. So let's say, what are you going to have to do basically if you get into a position on Ethereum, which is highly illiquid? You're going to have to cover with your futures, which is fine. I mean, maybe you want to do that, but if you're going to do if you're planning to do options versus options, that might be an issue because you don't know where you're actually going to get filled. And then also, obviously, if you're using futures to kind of, help out your deltas and, pull in your risk if need be, then obviously that's going to require more equity. So if that's already a consideration or an issue to begin with, then probably not the wisest idea because, yeah, those situations can go very fucking south very fucking fast. And yeah, man, I probably wouldn't. I would not recommend it. Obviously, I'm not here to be your dad or anything like that, but I wouldn't do it is what I'd say. So, obviously you make the decision for yourself, but I would not do that. Just not worth it. Because when it does go against you, it's going to go against you a lot. And I would not want to be short any options on fucking Ethereum because just for fear of not being able to cover myself. Anyways, what do we have over here? All right, let's do a little quick wrap up for Bitcoin here and then send you off on your very merry way. Here we have Bitcoin versus the dollar, and we have a very similar setup to yesterday, actually. So there's a lot of big things to be aware of that are coming in at the end of today's daily little closure in the next 17 hours, actually almost to the dot. If Bitcoin does close anywhere above about 47,500, it will have a 5-day bullish engulfing dildo, which we did speak about over the last few days. That'll be confirmed tonight. Again, if we do close above 47.5 on daily dildo closure, at that point, I would be looking for another retest of about 49.5 before anything else, and then very likely continuation probably into next week, maybe the week after that. Something like that would look pretty damn good. 4-hour time frame, you can see a very obvious. In this case, this would actually be a bit of a falling channel, maybe more obvious on like a 2-hour. Yeah, in fact, we do have it pretty much already resolved right now. It looks like something like this is what I'd be looking for. There's a measure move on that as well, obviously, and that is pointed up towards 49,000 bucks. Now, of course, if we do go over to our momentum oscillators over here, that can bleed on into a lot of other things, of which we see hourly will be up as long as above 47,800, so looking good there. 4-hour will actually flip-flop back around to the upside as long as above 48,300, we'll say. 12-hour will be up as long as above 47,250, and daily will remain up, obviously, as long as above 45,750. That is obviously going to be very much interesting for the 2-day as well, which will be flip-flopping up as well with any sort of a closure above 48,850. So if you do see the short-term timeframes have a resolution above about 48.3, then I would call this one resolved. I would be looking for the technical target about 49,000 bucks to be hit on the short-term timeframes, and then obviously look at where the daily closure is, or sorry, the 2-day closure is in this case, because that will obviously force them back up as well and be a rejection of, I believe, rejection of the bearish control zone in this case, and simultaneously create a 5-day bullish engulfing dildo right here, of which that would also confirm phantom div on our 5-day RSI. And even if you want to be like super exact with it, you even have a little bit of hidden bullish difference right there too on like a regular one. Anyways, most importantly with this, we are going to see on CME specifically that BBWP is going to expand from an incredibly low level right here. We got down to single digits and throughout that whole consolidation, which was a good sign that this is, going to very likely lead to continuation. And by the way, we got daily hidden bullish evidence right here, and daily Jewel might just follow through as well. If we see something like that, I'd be looking for next week, very, 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 very likely to reclaim the highs of early September. We probably do push our way through the upper 50s actually at that case. I'd be looking for a move towards 56 to 58 over the next 2 weeks or so. Anyways, with that said, it always comes with an invalidation point on the other side, and it's actually the exact same area as yesterday. In fact, as long as Bitcoin is above, of course, 47,000 bucks, which we pretty much nailed to the downside on yesterday's low. As long as Bitcoin's above there, I do look at this as very much viable and very much available. If we're going to use a 4-hour, I would use actually this a little bit above there, just the closing low, which was about 47,200. If one of those two signatures happen, then yes, I would be looking for Bitcoin to fail this rally, come all the way back down to 45,500 to 46,000 bucks before the next short-term bounce, and then very likely roll over from there to 44.5. But for right now, things are looking good for the BULAs. Even on CME, we do have a silver cross going on right here, and that is going to be accompanied by, again, a very, very low BBWP read. So I do think that we're looking at resolution incredibly soon here. And with that said, I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this serves you well. And with that said, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, sweet. Got that one recorded as well. Guys, girls, and all genders that might be present in this lovely chat room, it's been an absolute pleasure on this nice Friday afternoon or early morning or early evening, depending upon where you're on this world. But with that said, I'm going to be signing off now. I'm hungry as all hell. I got some nice steak and eggs waiting for me on this morning, and I want to wish you well yet again. I'm going to be signing off, and we'll be back on probably tomorrow. Elsa's waving her little crab claws in the background, which are quite scary. With that said, I salute you, and I wish you well, and until next time, take care.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it, take it, take it, blend it, send it, swell it, sell it, flip, unflip it, see it, watch it, learn it, know it, post it, tweet it, and repeat it, chart it, long it, short it, hedge it, post prediction, quick erase it, watch it, leave it, watch it, leave it, check it, click it, and refresh it, find it, drop it, crack it, lose it, curse it, pay it, to it, pay it, bar it, chart it, hide it, fight it, deal it, seal it, and unlock it, back it, send it, change it, blend it, mine it, grind it, how it, test it, praise it, curse it, trash it, hash it, roll it, troll it, and upgrade it, take it, take it, blend it, send it, swell it, sell it, flip, unflip it, see it, watch it, learn it, know it, post it, tweet it, and repeat it, chart it, long it, short it, hedge it, post prediction, quick erase it, watch it, leave it, watch it, leave it, check it, click it, and refresh it, write it, code it, name it, read it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it,